A business owner hit with thousands of dollars of flood damage. He says a water main replacement project is to blame.
Well, months later and getting nowhere with the city, he called the 19 troubleshooter.
Katie Wilson spent the day trying to get some answers.
They shouldn't have closed up the storm drain.
The videos speak for themselves. Roseland Avenue in Euclid under feet of water, costing the owner of Constructstar Group, Ishmael Owens, around $200,000 of damage. Heavy rains back in early July rushing in nearly a foot of water into his business. But Owens says it wasn't just the rain that caused the damage. It was the covers blocking the storm drains that were put in for a Euclid water main replacement project.
At that point, I decided to remove the barriers for the storm drains to allow the water to drain myself, because the contractor said that under no circumstances could they be removed throughout the duration of the project.
August 6th, 8:15 p.m.
There were two more heavy rain events after Owens removed the drain covers. As Owens shows us in this video, the streets still flooded, but the water didn't make it to his business. Even Euclid Councilman Wallace Tanner agreeing the devastating flood damage to local businesses could have been prevented.
There should have been some type of contingency just in case it rained. This should have been thought out during the process of this job.
So who's responsible? The contractor, Trax Construction, who blocked the storm drains, or the city of Euclid? We received this statement from Euclid's mayor, reading in part, quote, "The basins were never completely blocked off at any time during this project. During the time the inlet protection was on the basins, there was multiple rain events. One storm in particular dropped 1 inch of rain in 60 minutes, flooding many local roads," end quote.
At the tone, please record your message.
We also reached out to Trax and were forced to leave a message. Business owners in Euclid still looking for answers as to who will take responsibility for their devastating flooding. In the meantime, they're looking into legal action. Reporting in Euclid, Katie Wilson, 19 News.
So if you have a problem you would like us to address, call our 19 troubleshooter tip line, 216-250-1618.